How do you start your day? By switching off your alarm clock, sending a good morning text, using an induction to cook your breakfast, or by exercising on a treadmill? Well, in any case, in the digital world that we live in today, your life cannot be untouched by small, powerful brains called semiconductors. From medical devices and clean energy to transportation and defense, this technology has transformed every aspect of human life. But what are semiconductors? Also referred to as microchips or integrated circuits. These are made of tiny fragments of raw material like silicon. Now the key here is that despite being incredibly small in size, these chips have as many transistors as of all the bricks in the Great Wall of China. This gives it massive amount of processing power, which is essentially what makes advanced electronic systems work that power our modern lives. Now these chips are at the heart of the semiconductor industry. So when semiconductors are so critical in our lives, governments around the world are taking action to boost this industry in their own countries. India too is making all efforts to emerge as a major player in the global chip race. Pandemic was a good lesson for New Delhi on how it needs to reduce its over-reliance on global chip supply chains. To achieve the same, New Delhi has been inking deals to boost its domestic semiconductor manufacturing, and it is further seeking to capitalize on foreign firms looking for alternative manufacturing hubs. And New Delhi is not just focusing on one aspect of the industry. Rather, it is making efforts to build an entire chip ecosystem. From research and development, design, chip making, and fabrication to trying to train people as well. India is going all in. So what is New Delhi's semiconductor mission? And how is it going to achieve it? Well, the goal is simple. India wants to be among the world's top 5 semiconductor producers in the next 5 years. If you look at the top producers and their shares, currently, Taiwan holds 46% of global semiconductor foundry capacity, followed by China at 26%. South Korea is at 12%, the United States at 6%, and Japan at 2%. Now, India wants to enter this small circle. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has outlined the vision clearly. When the chips are down, you can bet on India.
हम 85,000 टेक्नीशियंस, इंजीनियर्स और R&D एक्सपर्ट्स की सेमीकंडक्टर वर्कफोर्स तैयार कर रहे हैं। भारत का फोकस अपने स्टूडेंट्स और प्रोफेशनल्स को सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री रेडी बनाने पर है।
Geopolitics also seems to be in India's favor. With most countries looking for an alternative to China, New Delhi can play a pivotal role by amping up its production. So what are the steps India has taken? In the latest, India and the US have inked a deal to establish a joint semiconductor fabrication plant. This new facility will be dedicated to producing chips for national security, next-generation telecommunications, and green energy applications. Other than this, India has a fabrication plant in Dholera under Tata Electronics and Taiwan's Power Chip Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, and an Adani Tower Semiconductor plant in Maharashtra. In addition, India also has 4 assembly and testing units in Gujarat and Assam. Earlier, the Indian PM also signed a memorandum of understanding on semiconductor ecosystem partnership with Singapore. New Delhi has also vowed to offer subsidies to woo chip makers to its shores. Moreover, the Indian government is now looking to increase the funding outlay for the second phase of its chip manufacturing incentive policy to $15 billion. This is up from $10 billion in the first phase. Separately, at least 3 Indian states have announced individual policies aiming to secure investments in the sphere. If you look at how numbers are stacked up, India imports approximately 95% of its semiconductors from countries including China, Taiwan, South Korea, and Singapore. While India makes up 5% of the global demand for chips, which is likely to double by 2026. So India's ambition to become a semiconductor powerhouse is likely to bring a lot of benefits. But a few challenges exist, including a difficult environment for doing business, India's hardware capabilities, manufacturing sector's share of GDP, and an overall lack of facility ecosystem. If India wants to compete with established players in this sector, then it will need to work on these issues. And a dedicated policy is needed to step in the right direction to achieve its dream. Bureau Report, India Today Global.